You know, and sure, it wasn't making the same mistakes as Dragon Ball, but that's because it was too busy making new ones. You know, we were in that Sasuke retrieval arc, and characters that were clearly dead, that like should have died, that you set up and you do the thing with the camera and the butterfly flies away, like you can't make it any more cinematic, and it's like no, actually no one dies, nothing of consequence actually happened. Some of the biggest issues with I don't know what to call it, but like anime thought time, I guess, where, you know, like a million thoughts go happen per page, and while you're reading, you can kind of assume that it's like, yeah, okay, this is happening, and these thoughts are all being processed really quickly, right in the middle of one punch being swung at me. You know, like Hajime no Ippo, like, it's like that match that was like 3 minutes lasted 3 episodes. Well, yeah, we were all in anime thought time for the entire episode. You started having that, but worse than it's ever been. But still, you had this amazing climactic battle, and you had like the Sharingan level 3 popping open at that point, and I remember being like, yeah, it works exactly how I thought it did. It turns out it's just like a future predictor, and, you know, then you think back to when Kakashi was using it to just copy moves. Like, they do the things that are gonna get you. They introduce more than enough characters that you're going to like one of them. There's no way you can possibly get through the full introduction of each team and be like, fuck all of those characters. At least one of them is gonna be your style. And you know what? Yeah, that's a shonen technique. Even if you hate everyone else on the roster, you kind of put your eggs all in one basket and you bet on that horse. It worked for me. Welcome back to my peyote-induced journey, my spiritual trek. I'll be facing my inner demons any minute now. And it's Kabuto. And he hasn't changed at all in the time jump. Yeah, takes the headband off, that's about it. You know how Reboot had a beverage of the episode in the early episodes? If you've seen the Woolie Versus Reboot LP from a while ago, I went in pretty strong and heavy with a beverage in hand to at least the beat of the first 4 or 5 episodes, or sessions, I should say, not episodes. Ooh. And I'm just thinking, what if we up the ante a little bit and decided to go with the substance abuse of choice for each session of Naruto? I've never done ayahuasca. Anyone want to hook me up? Go on a fucking mind resetting trek. Aw shit, it's Orochimaru. Speaking of mind resetting, I saw this fight and this moment to completion apparently, and I have no recollection whatsoever, because I could have sworn that all that cave shit happened before this point, and big old bubbly form Naruto, but I guess I was wrong. So, yes. Kabuto. Truly the little finger of the Naruto world, playing both sides against the middle, and then betting on the middle. Oh, you're not Sasori. Your boar aura was putting me to sleep. There's no fucking way you're Sasori. That was the kinkiest bitch on planet Earth. You thought you could fucking imitate. You thought you could imitate the master? He was excitement incarnate. Kink game so strong, he turned his own parents into Realdolls. And then when he got bored of that, he turned himself into a real doll. And then when he got bored of that, he crawled up inside another real doll just for walking around with. Fuck everything you thought you knew about a fetish. This dude is about that life. Fuck out of here with your sleepy ass chakra. You know, I guess the moral of the story, if anything, is adults don't change their clothes. Years go by, and teenagers grow out of their old shit and show that they've matured by changing up, but Orochimaru has not changed outside of that flashback of him being a kid. Or it wasn't a flashback, it was a photo, but... Yeah. Keep him busy. How? We don't see it, but how would this fight actually go? Kabuto is definitely like an upper power limit character that we don't really get a sense of how strong he actually is. You know, because he still manages to beat Kid Naruto all those years back, way back when. And Sakura's now punching down buildings and shit, so... I guess it's meant to be vague. He's strong enough that he can stall for time with Yamato and Sakura, I suppose. I mean, anyone being Sasuke! Kaneda! Tetsuo! Vegeta! Kakaroto! And so on and so forth. I don't think Renji and Ichigo yell each other's names out, but maybe they do. I don't know. I fucking forget everything about that. Although, yeah, Sasuke, like, they do have a point in the sense that Sasuke very clearly said, I'm leaving. I want to go. Goodbye now. And the village was very correctly like, no, you can't send a mission to go stop that guy because he knows too much, and a traitor shouldn't, you know, defect because then that's bad for us if they've got intel on us. But the idea of rescuing someone from themselves is such a weird thing to me. Okay, this is obviously like fake first fight. The idea of someone rescuing someone from themselves is, it's something that I kind of like. I kind of look at it and, oh, that's cool. I like how he slides along the ground there. I look at it and I go like, well, fuck, man. Everyone's allowed to make up their own minds, and people are allowed to make them mistakes and make stupid decisions. And, like, after years of Sasuke kind of just yelling, like, leave me alone, please, all of you assholes. The fact that they won't take that, and they're like, no, you're my friend, fuck you, is not something that works anywhere else. When someone turns out to be a traitor, like, even if they're kind of, like, hesitant or reluctant about it, like, aw, shit. The pop. Even when they're, like, reluctant, like, aw, shit, I didn't want to be a traitor, but I guess I am, you kind of end up with this, you know, there's usually either a, fuck you, you gotta go now, attitude on part of the heroes, or a reluctant battle, but at the end you kind of accept that the person has made their decision. Without getting into spoiler territory, there's some cool stuff in, like, Attack on Titan about that. About people's decisions and, you know, making the right choice, making the wrong choice, but people living by what by the choices they make. And here in Naruto, it seems like fuck your choices, fuck your own decisions, and fuck what you say you want to do. I'm gonna come back and make sure you do the right thing. If I say you're my friend, I'm never leaving you alone. It's almost a creepy, weird, kind of clingy attitude to have if it weren't, like, for the sake of good and evil. By the way, what the fuck is happening right now? I'm in shmup mode? This is an kind of goofy simplification of some of the cool shit that went down in this fight, but I'm assuming we get that after. Okay, and then there's Beam. Yeah, sure. So I guess, like, between the Deidara fight and this, we're gonna just occasionally go into, like, some shmup action. That's fucking huge, holy shit. The weird thing, too, and I'm sure I'll get there, as with everything else in this story, but I remember reacting strangely to seeing this four-tail form of Naruto, because I think, yeah, early on we started to see, like, the chakra tails appearing, and it's like, aw, shit, he's got 2 tails out, now he's got 3, and with each one he becomes more beast-like and such, more Kyuubi-like. But, like, I've never seen any shonen where they just called out from the get-go how many power-up forms you're gonna be dealing with. Oh, hold up, here we go. That's, yeah, he's all stretchy and liquid-like. That's cool. That works pretty well. Let's try that again. Ah. Fuck, I kind of forgot that. I don't know if I've seen that, but that was really cool. Like, his body is really just pure chakra at this point. Like, it barely makes sense, and he can, like, kind of symbiote. It's a symbiote, is what it is. The Kyuubi's riding Naruto like Venom. But yeah, the call out on you know there's gonna be 9 levels of this going down is really extreme, because if the first time you saw Goku go Super Saiyan, you knew that there were 8 other power-up levels he was gonna get to eventually, it would have diminished the hype somewhat. Also, I fucking love when giant death balls become concentrated. That's a really, really cool effect that doesn't happen often enough in the shit I've seen. Like, the ultimate form of something is not the giant, massive explosion. It's actually the hyper-dense precision laser. That's super dope. I like that a lot. And then the Rashomons, which the Sound Ninjas use to stop Kiba, I believe. And he's just gonna stand there and be like, yeah, fair enough. You got through 3 of those bitches. Alright. I'ma hold that L. Oh. Slowly but surely. One tail at a time. It'll take years, but eventually. Yes. My power. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not shitting in that sense, because I remember seeing that form and being like, oh, I like that whole, like, sort of, yeah, like symbiote level of Kyuubi possession. Because we know what the end form looks like already, right? So you just got to get the halfway state between human and beast, but it's going a little bit off the predictable path of, you know, just getting more feral, in the sense that this is like feral in an alien way. But Yeah, like if the first thing you ever saw was Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, and you were like, oh, that's what's locked inside of Goku, and then you had to then see him unlock Super Saiyan 1 through 3, you know, years into the story, but you're still just like, okay, but I know that his hair turns fucking blue at some point. In the same way here, it's like there's 9 tails. He's got 4 out now. Are we actually gonna have a power-up moment for 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9? You know? Or you do the dramatic thing and jump straight ahead and you like skip 2 tails and it's like, oh fuck. He's even closer now because we skipped it. You thought it was gonna be 1, but it's actually 2 more. That would be a pretty shonen-esque move to make. But it can. Did they just stare at each other? They might have just sat on this bridge and stared at each other and agreed that there's no point in us fighting. We're just gonna stare and wait to see what happens. Oh. The worst has happened. The nuke we keep sending out on missions actually went off at some point. It's almost as if... Well, technically, I guess that's what Yamato's there for, right? Is to be the insurance in case something goes off, but... Yes, go rescue your friend, even though you have an atomic bomb in your fucking body. Oh. That's cool. Okay. They give... Now, hold on a moment, because I know for a fact y'all forgot about Yamato too, because I've been reading those comments, and here he's a playable character in this game, and he still didn't make an impression. What the fuck? But fuck all that noise, though. First things first. I'ma forge some greens. Then I'ma scare a bird and steal its beans. That's what a motherfucking Hokage do. Hidden in the leaves. That's the Hokage crew. Ah. Priority S. Top class mission. Dig up some roots in the dirt. Save your friend's life if you can. Stop betrayals, but more importantly, those onions, though. Hey. Okay, for real this time then? Not just in cutscene mode? If they made the model, they're not just gonna have him be a little shmup thing, are they? He's got this. Yeah. He's the whatever family descendant, or I got that Hokage, that first Hokage shit. The boring wood attacks. They're not boring. Yamato is forgettable. I'm playing it up. The wood attacks are very cool. I like that one in Naruto Met Hero 3 where he grows a tree around you and it's a giant old oak and it ends peacefully with you stuck in a tree forever. That's a pretty cool cutscene. What can you do though? What you got? Alright, wood limbs. Oh my god, the idea of doing a replacement technique with a guy who's all fucking wood is probably the best version of that you can get. Like, he just provides, he just provides all the chakra replacements that... What am I trying to say? Everyone is doing their best to grab a log and turn into it at the last second so that you don't actually hit the person, you hit the log. And this guy, you're actually hitting the wood, but the wood is him. And this thought is stupid and it's going nowhere, so I'm just gonna quit it. Instead, that was quick. Instead, we can talk about the fact that, yay, Four-Tail Naruto is actually a playable... Well, I assume he's gonna be playable because he's like... Yeah, he's a character that you can fight, so that's pretty cool. Nice. They usually just kind of reserve that for, like, an unlock of... you know, it might still be that. It might still be a, like, a switch to that mode while playing as Naruto thing. But it would be interesting if it were its own character select slot. Hey. Glowy white heel magic. Does he? Is it more elaborate than that? Eh. Either way. You did the one thing.
Naruto は大丈夫なんですか?
ああ、なんとかキュービのチャクラを抑え込むことができたよ。
抑え込むって一体どうやって?
Well, usually you stick it in a baby.
僕はオロチマルの実験体だった頃があってね。そこで初代様の細胞を。
Ah, it's not that he's a descendant. It's that, yeah, okay. We took a syringe to the first Hokage's ball fluid, and then they injected it in me. Now I can use wood. That's how it works. I like how the village of Hidden in the Leaves is like, we know Orochimaru did human experiments on you, and that's super fucked up and weird, and that's not okay. So fuck that guy. But you got those cool powers, though, right? We can still use those, right? Like, we're still going to use it to the maximum ability that we can for strategic purposes, right? You're still a really good weapon on our side, right? Whole lot of like, this is not what we would want to happen for humanitarian purposes. But if you're hanging out here and you got that power, you might as well use it. Is that a Sharingan? Oh shit. We can use those for our missions. Go use it to find Tauntaun's pearls. Oh, that midriff. I'd know that midriff anywhere. Exposed. With that six-pack for all the world to see. Look at that. Look at that teenage six-pack. So I think this is why I was under the impression that Danzo was a bad guy, because I guess I remember thinking that, okay, Danzo sent him on this mission to betray or whatever, just fake betray or real betray, I don't know, but to negotiate something with Orochimaru, and then I left off before that was resolved. So that's why I remember, I guess, the roots part of the leaf being like, oh, they were trying to be traitors, or they're trying to do something evil, because my mind was like, okay, yeah, this scene happened, and I was kind of acknowledging that. Someone pointed out that actually they were just the guys that did the black ops and wet work that the village didn't want public, and that makes perfect sense, but I guess I'll see where that storyline goes, because, yeah, I just saw that one introduction, and that was all there was that I got to. Why would Tree Guy be hiding behind a tree and not just literally be the tree? Wouldn't it be way easier to just turn into a tree in the middle of a forest instead of standing and hiding behind a tree? Which we just saw didn't work because back on the bridge when the other students were hidden behind the trees, Orochimaru knew instantly that they were all hiding back there. I don't know, that's just me though.
これはまだ推測の域を出ないが、サイには5代目とは別の主がいて、僕らとは別の名誉を。I suspected all along that this guy wasn't trustworthy. I suspected all along that Naruto could possibly explode and ruin everything. And perhaps I'm guessing that Sakura's like outrages and like her proneness to throwing hissy fits at times, especially when it comes to Sasuke, might get in the way of the mission. What a perfect team to send on this mission! Yeah, I realize it's a stretch on Sakura, because she's primarily just filling the role of a cleric, since we need to have people around to heal when these two shitbirds fuck up. On that note of the four-tailed Naruto form, though, I like how, because we know the end path, I was saying it earlier, I want to see more deviation from that, but you can't go too far. Like, we can't have, like, the seven-tail form just be a complete, ridiculous, nonsensical monster that looks nothing like it's on its way to being a Kyuubi. I want to see them kind of like play that up in a creative way, because the way that the four-tail was moving around was super dope. That was awesome. Are you literally... Yes! Yes! Walking peddler. Trustworthy man standing outside of Orochimaru's hidden cave, selling items and goods and nourishment. This is trustworthy. I believe... There's nothing wrong with this here. What are you buying? What are you selling? Orochimaru wouldn't just murder you outright for hanging around outside his cave entrance. What the fuck? That's a weird one, video game. That's a weird one. Come on. Also, so this order list, I guess, like, yeah, you get your ingredients and it fills out, but... You know what? I'm thinking. Okay, the reason why I'm looking back at this is because I'm trained to think that if this were a more traditional fighting game, you absolutely wouldn't give a fuck about any of this, because items are pointless in those games. Just like in character action, you'd never look at you know, mid-battle item usage as a thing. But this is a licensed fighter, so it, you know, like it kind of does what it wants, and there's a lot of like. Yeah, like at licensed anime fighters that are different, and they kind of have story modes that expect you to use healing and items and whatnot in the middle of battle. So until confirmed that these are completely worthless, I think after this point I'll just assume we don't need to ever talk to any shopkeepers or buy any items, and we can just play with the basic systems and we'll be fine. Reasonable, yeah? Yeah, alright, let's do that from now on, because, you know, even off camera, like, I kind of wasn't 100% certain. So I'll try some of these items out, I'll see what happens with them, but I think I'm gonna be done with the shopping shit for now. Although I know that some of those missions kind of force you to pick up ingredients anyway, some of the side missions, so I might be able to just build stuff. But in the last, in the Ubisoft game, I remember that we had to, like, it wasn't about buying items and whatnot as much as it was leveling up your character and giving yourself more jutsu, more chakra, more HP, and, you know, like, there was a level of progression that you needed to hit in order to survive the harder fights that came towards the end of that. Yeah. Sure. Yes, the clone. Okay. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, the Hidden Leaf sent out another scout that's just hanging around. Everybody's having a party in front of Orochimaru's cave. But no, it's Yamato's clone. That makes perfect sense. All right. I remember this cave part being a kind of weird one. Nothing much happens until Big Boy Sasuke shows up with his big boy sword, ready for big boy cuts. Becoming the literal edgelord we always knew he was. Let's get ready for that, I suppose.